It's Wednesday, the 28th of July, 2021, and welcome to another Timeware Community Podcast. My name's Simon Birchall, and with me, somewhere in the building, via Teams, is Mike Coop. How's it going, Mike?
I'm good. It's nearly dinner time. Best time of the day.
What have you got for your dinner?
A lovely Caesar salad with a light balsamic vinegar.
Nice one. Today's podcast is called Preparing for ESS GO.
Yeah.
As everybody knows, we're going to be releasing Timeware 2022 in November, and the big sort of feature for this release is going to be the new ESS GO app. And I just thought it was worth mentioning to everybody what's involved, what it's going to do for the company, for the customers, and what the company can be doing to prepare for this. So we'll start off with a summary. Mike, do you want to tell us what ESS GO is going to do for the company?
So,
what we'll be able to use it for?
There's multiple features. So just what the benefit to the employee is, we've got the ability to clock in and out via the phone. So that means you can click on the phone, add a booking, and that would come into the.
So why would that? I mean, a normal company with you got a factory of a few hundred people.
Yeah, probably not relevant. But then you've got maybe have sales staff or something like that, where they go into a customer's premises.
Mobile staff. All right, that's one thing.
There's another method of clocking, which is a puck, what we call a timeware puck, which utilises the NFC technology on the phone.
This is an ultra low cost.
Yeah,
these are going to be something like £80 each, we're thinking, aren't they? And this is the point where the employee would walk up to the puck and they'd hold the phone up, and it would clock them in at that puck at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah. So that might be better for customers where they've got no infrastructure. Maybe they've got distribution sites with a low amount of employees there.
What about so you've got some retail outlets and
retail outlets? Yeah.
The cost of putting a full attendance terminal is prohibitive. So. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a solution. Then the benefits to the employee is holidays and absences. Right. So having the ability to request an absence via the application.
Yeah.
And that going into the manager, and then an approval process on it, and then coming back to the employee.
Yeah.
Checking on their absences, so checking if there's been approvals, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Checking if like numbers of how many days leave.
Yeah, what the main entitlement is, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So anything else for the employee?
Viewing they can view the rota, can't they, in the timesheet?
You view the rota, 31-day rota, and also they can look at the current timesheet for the current part period and all of the previous period.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the benefit for the employee. What about the employer?
So for the employer, you've got basically it's going to reduce on paperwork. So a lot of companies still where an employee requests a holiday and it's a manual process.
Yeah.
This can all be an electronic, and it's obviously audited as well. So there's a full record of what's happened and stuff on absence.
But what's important here is if let's say I'm approving your holiday.
Yeah.
Which I never would. But if I was approving your holiday, you put the request in.
Yeah.
So Hannah would say to you she wants a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2-week holiday in Barbados.
I won't even bother asking.
Well, let's pretend. All right. So 3 days in Margate, right? So you've asked for 3 days off. You put the request through. That would pop up on my to-do list, the to-do list of HR. They would then do a quick check to make. They'd use the features built into the absence management module to make sure there were no other project management team members off on that day or whatever. Yeah, and then the approval or the denial, is it?
Yeah.
Denial of the holiday,
Declined,
Declined holiday, and that'll bounce back to you and you get to see that, and then there'll be an argument with Hannah, I guess, but it's over to you. So that's the process of it, the employee making a request through to the employer, and the employer sort of okaying it or declining it. Any other benefits? I guess it's just a streamlining of paperwork, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we used to, so obviously we have a solution for this at the minute, which just works on the internal network, which is the employee self-service.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a replacement to that. The benefit is there's no IT involvement required. We don't have to open up any ports, and it works from anywhere in the world. That's one big benefit.
So the benefit that's the application. That's what it does. The benefits to the employee and the employer. Now, so this feature is a chargeable feature, but we're offering it free of charge for the first year, so people can trial it and see how useful it is. And I think what we're going to suggest is, rather than trialing it with the whole company, well, you could do if you wanted to, we suggest you keep it to a small number of people, maybe 20. So the preparation work that's required for this. So we'll be contacting the customer throughout. After November, we'll be contacting customers for the SLA upgrades, and what extra work will be involved, because we're going to change our pre-installation discussion, aren't we? We're going to have to ask the employer to gather certain information so that this will work. This will kickstart. And two bits of information I'm going to need about each employee is the email address that's on the form, and also the mobile number. Okay, so a lot of companies, we've already got the email address, but that's something that we need to make that super clear. Also, the employer needs to tell the employee to download the application from either the iOS store or the Google store, and install it on the phone. Okay, and then I think we're going to suggest that we have that the customer has a sort of a go live date, because we should give the employees maybe a couple of weeks to download everything. Let's say we were kickstarting this in August, so we'd say maybe by the 15th of August, everybody at Timeway's got to have the app downloaded onto the phone. And then we need to just simply tell the employee needs to just.
It's like a self-registration.
That's right. Okay. So in terms of passwords, things like that, the employer doesn't allocate any of those anymore. Completely.
For the employee,
the user of the app. All right. So they would go through this registration process. And the only time they would need to speak to the employer again is if they change their email address. So if it's a personal email that they were no longer using, we change it to something else.
That's it.
Employee know. Okay. So when we come to do an SLA upgrade, it's usually a one-day process, isn't it, for each customer, unless we've got a lot of clients. So we would be able to. This work would be completed within the
SLA
within that day. But we'd have to make sure the company has done some preparatory work first.
For us to be able to set it up.
Okay. So they're going to. What would they do? Send an email out? Would you suggest we get some sort of maybe we should have like a paragraph or something that we can pass to the employer to email to all the staff to say download this app.
And this is where you get. We could do like a document or something for that.
All right. And what else is there then? So we've talked about what it does. That's how it's going to be set up. The employer will not be able to see the password for any of the employees. Sort of. There's
anyone
to look at, because this is just simply information. So the options that we've got there, you mentioned we've got the employee may be able to use an attendance point. This is a Timeware puck. If the company's not going to use that, which I suggest a lot of companies won't use that at the start, that will be disabled on the phone. The attendance timesheet would be useful because people can see the hours that they've worked and the overtime and any bonuses, etc. The shift rota might be useful if you're on a rotating sort of shift pattern. Absence on holiday, I think, is going to be the big selling point, the big thing for this. And then view bookings. View bookings is only going to be useful for people that are either booking in as a mobile worker or using a puck. So again, that will be disabled for most employees. As will the offsite booking. So if you were logging into this as a Timeware employee, I think what we're going to do is set a puck up near the entrance or something, and you could use that just to sort of simulate how this works. And then you'd be using the timesheet and the absence request. That'd be interesting. Okay, so the free trial is going to be for 1 year. The ongoing cost for this work, because this is a cloud application, we've got 1 or 2 checks we've got to do. We just want to make sure we get things right. But we're looking around about somewhere between £250 and £500 per annum. I think for this. Maybe it depends on the number of employees, but it's that sort of figure. And again, the main benefit to the employer is the streamlining of the holiday requests.
It's all in one place, and then the benefit. The improvement that we've got now is rather than it being just on the internal network, it's anywhere.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of customers who don't use the
normal
existing ESS just
Yeah.
because it's not practical.
Yeah.
You know, the people who don't have canteens or kitchen areas or whatever.
Yeah.
So this would be something that could be introduced and would benefit everybody.
Yeah.
So moving forward, this is going to be offered to everybody. It will. So as we start planning the SLA upgrades to 22, which will be after November, so it'll start in December.
Yeah.
This will just happen as a matter of course. We're going to mention it in the November issue of Timelines, just to jog everybody's memory again. Anybody interested in finding out any more information, what should they do? Come through to projects?
Yeah,
Is
they
that
can
right? Support won't be aware of this yet. So if the email liz.broadest at timeware.co.uk, or if you were to call in as +44 1706 659 368, brilliant, and put a call into Liz and she'll be able to answer any of these questions. Is there anything else that we want to mention?
I think that's pretty much it.
Is that it? Brilliant.
It was worth mentioning that we're trialing it. We're trialing it at the minute.
We've got a number of trials that are taking place at the moment. I think this is going to be a really good feature. I think it's a cracking little feature. Like a lot of people tap into this straight away. Yeah. Good. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.